tackling tough conversations, especially around performance issues. Most leaders think that these are difficult conversations, but I'm going to ask you to change your lens. These kinds of conversations don't have to be difficult conversations. If you think about one of the things you are responsible for doing as a leader is to give people feedback that will help them to arrive at the decision that they should invest more in certain skills or certain experiences. Don't think about it that, oh boy, this person is not going to take this very well, or oh, they're going to make this more difficult for me. Think about how can I sell this feedback in a way that the person feels like they are motivated now to do better. If you take that perspective, then I think it will motivate you to deliver the message a little bit differently. So the way that you might think about it, if you want to tell someone that they are below the line, or in financial services speak, that they're in the needs improvement category, you might start this conversation by saying, at the beginning of the year, or when you started in this role, we talked about what success looks like. Now, that assumes, leaders, that when someone came into your organization and took a particular seat, you took the time to talk to them about what success looked like. And if the definition of success changed over the course of the period from when you had the conversation and when you're now doing the evaluation, I'm assuming that you had that conversation with them too, so that they could refine their idea of what they needed to deliver. So let's start there. I will assume that you have defined success. Now you start the conversation and say, when we talked about your performance in this role, I told you that success looked like this. Now that we've had this time to work together for the last 12 or 18 months, what you have delivered actually looks like this. And I believe that one of the reasons that you didn't do this well or you didn't do that well was because whatever that reason happened to be. Or if you believe that the person needs more training or more exposure, you might want to say that. You might want to say, I believe that you could deliver this in this way. Unfortunately, you have not been able to do that. I'm in a position to give you training that hopefully will help you get to exemplary performance. Are you ready to invest? Because you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up to have a collaborative conversation around their performance. Another strategy is that you might ask them to talk a little bit about how they believe they have performed. One of the things that I say to almost every professional is that when you're going into an evaluative conversation, you should have already done your assessment and you should be ready to answer the question, how do you think you're doing? Because many leaders will start that evaluative conversation with that question. So start there. Ask them how they think they're doing. Get their feedback. And now you can say, well, I would agree with you on A and B. You've done an outstanding job. C, I think you've done okay, but not great. Because let me tell you what great looks like. And oh, by the way, with respect to these two things that you thought you had done a pretty good job, let me tell you why the organization and I don't see it that way. Let's walk through it. But think about giving critical and productive and constructive feedback, especially if you believe that it's going to be less than what the person is expecting. Remember, you are the coach, you are the developer of talent, you're the person that is supposed to be helping that person get to the A performance. Have you done your part? If you haven't, you might want to own that as you work with them on a plan so that they can get to be an A performer in the next 12 months. If you believe that they have the skills and the will to do so, go get them.